All right, let's talk about the heel elevated wall squat. This movement works our quads in their lengthened position, okay? Now, the reason it does this is because with this heel elevation, it's going to allow us to get more knee flexion. And when we get more knee flexion, meaning our knees are bending, we are biasing more quads. Now, with a traditional squat, when you are getting more hip hinge, you are biasing more glutes, okay? So we can manipulate what muscles we're targeting depending on how much hip hinging we're getting, how much knee flexion we're getting. So that is why in this particular movement, you need wedges, okay? Now, if you don't have wedges, you can clearly elevate your heel with a dumbbell or plates, but honestly, wedges are going to be more optimal because it's just a nicer foot path, you have a more stable surface to work with, okay? And you're getting the elevation that you need, okay? So when you set up your wedges, I want them to be fairly close to the wall, okay? And what that's gonna do is it's going to make you push your knees forward more, okay? And then your wedges need to be fairly close to each other and kind of angled out to follow the knee path that happens. So you notice when you're squatting down, your knees kind of start to push out naturally, okay? So you're also going to need a nice foam roller. These are really cheap from Amazon, super easy. You're going to set that up at the base of your back. And what that foam roller is going to do is you're going to be able to get more stability out of this movement because you're kind of pushing up against the foam roller and it's keeping your back upright, so that when you come down, you're initiating the movement with your knees, which provides that knee flexion you need for those quads, okay? You're gonna have your dumbbells set up here. And so the tempo for this likely will be a slow 1, 2, 3 count down, and then up. And notice there's no pause at the top, okay? Coming up and right back down. Now, a progression for this could be holding at the bottom for 1 count in that lengthened position and then coming back up. Notice it's hardest there. Okay, so this is what we're looking for as far as knee flexion. Now notice when I come down, I'm keeping my body upright. I am initiating by pushing my knees forward, and I'm gonna drop my weights for a second so you can see this. I'm trying to close the gap between the back of my thighs and my calves, okay? And for those of you that work out at the gym and do the hack squat, this movement is the hack squat at the gym is working your quads in its lengthened position. So we're looking for your foot position, your feet to be kind of at the bottom of the plate for the hack squat, and that we're looking for lots of knee flexion, so closing the gap between our thighs and our calves here, okay? So it's really beneficial if you record yourself doing this, so you can see, am I getting the knee flexion I need in this movement? And if for some reason you're not, think about, okay, what's the limiting factor here? Am I just trying to push too much weight? So if I dropped my weight, use less weight, would I be able to get that knee flexion, okay? And if you see a significant improvement in that, dropping the weight that you're using, then go with that, because then that's probably where you need to start from, okay? And then build up from there. So just think, pushing those knees forward, okay? Trying to create that knee flexion. All right, this is one of my favorite modifications for people who are struggling with knee mobility, okay? And that's a lot of people. So it's great to be able to find a stable exercise that you can start with and then build up to a harder exercise, which would be the hack squat at the gym or the heel elevated wall squat, which I just showed you. Okay, so you're gonna wanna set up your heel wedges, okay? And then you're gonna hold on to the front of the bench. You're gonna keep your body upright and you're going to initiate the movement by pushing your knees forward and trying to create as much knee flexion as you possibly can. Notice I'm trying to push the back of my thighs towards my calves, okay? And you're gonna follow that same tempo, so no pause at the top. And you can create a lot of tension in those quads with this movement. Now, if this feels too easy for you, there's a couple of ways that you can add load to this movement. You can take a band and you can wrap it around here. Now, I don't love this because it puts a bit of tension on your neck. So but it is a good way to be able to still use both of your hands if you're struggling with that and add a little bit of load to this movement. So this is a good modification if you still need both those hands doing this movement. Okay, the other thing that you can do is you can use one hand and put a weight in the other and keep that chest upright and push forward with those knees. And that way you're adding more load, but you still have a bit of stability. Okay, hopefully that helps and gives you lots of good options when we're trying to work those quads.